Sullivan and Malloy were killed because of a tape.
What tape?
According to a Captain Harris.
You've met him?
Last night.
Well, go on.
Your name surfaced, Mr. Nedley.
Really?
He claims that he has a tape in his possession which will prove that you and others conspired to destabilize the last Labour government. He says he gave a copy of this tape to Paul Sullivan, hoping he would publicize it, and that's why Sullivan was killed.
You've not heard the tape, then?
Not yet. But I will.
You're seeing Harris again?
I can't tell you.
Although he was strictly Army, Harris worked for me.
Yes. I know.
He was rather good at what he did.
He was a traitorous bastard.
When I arrived just now, there was a man who greeted me at the car, tall, thinning hair.
What about him?
I might want to question him. After the tape was taken from Sullivan's body, the police gave it to someone answering his description. I have 4 witnesses to identify him. Did he give the tape to you?
Are you interrogating me?
Are you obstructing me? Why don't you let me listen to that tape? Then I can eliminate Harris from my inquiry.
You have no choice, Alex.
Do you remember the disorders of the 1970s, Mr. Kerrigan? The kind of chaos we faced. Strikes, riots, miners bringing down a conservative government, inflation going through the roof, our European creditors queuing up to pounce on us. Oh, how Europe enjoyed our discomfiture. Instead of just letting it happen, a few of us got together to do something about it.
So, there was a conspiracy.
My dear chap, politics is a conspiracy.
The point is, our paths converge.
In what way?
We both serve the state.
No. I defend the state. You subvert it.
All right, let's be frank with one another. Illegal methods were used in an attempt to bring down the Labour government. But that's all in the past. Do you think by scrutinizing mistakes made, you will help restore respect for law and order? Don't play hide and seek with reality, Mr. Kerrigan. If you want to see the release of that tape and its contents made public, go right ahead. But first, consider the consequences. Every agitator, every intellectual, every bleeding-heart liberal with his rhetoric about civil rights will seize on it. Now, you say you defend the state. So do I. But Parliament and its institutions are the state. And anything that threatens the government, the rule of law, the credibility of Parliament, is a threat to the state. Leave well alone, Mr. Kerrigan. Let the historians discover it in 50 years' time. Our duty is to protect number 10.
It wouldn't be published anyway. Strictly speaking, it's none of your concern.
No.
It's an intelligence matter outside your jurisdiction.
I don't accept that.
Well, accept
What
this,
Alec
then.
and the others did 8 years ago was terribly wrong.
It wasn't just terribly wrong. It was criminal.
It was wrong for the right reasons. These were, and still are, honourable men.
They broke the law.
We've agreed on that. But tell me, Mr. Kerrigan, as a professional policeman, don't you find that hardened criminals often benefit from the restraints imposed on the police by the courts?
Absolutely, yes.
And when, to secure a conviction, the police remove those constraints, when, for example, they illegally tap a phone to apprehend political terrorists, whose aim is to overthrow democracy, is this ever justified?
It depends on the circumstances.
Well, let's be more specific. In 1974, the IRA blew up a Birmingham pub. 21 young people were killed, 162 were injured. The police, your colleagues, arrested 6 Irishmen. They were subjected to what is euphemistically referred to as in-depth interrogation.
They kicked the hell out of the murdering swine.
And obtained a confession.
Which held up in court.
Was that justified?
If they did that, then they were out of order.
Tell that to the people of Birmingham.
The point I'm trying to make, Mr. Kerrigan...
I understand the point you're trying to make, Sir Robert. that to maintain the system, the abuse of power is sometimes necessary.
Yes. It allows us to enjoy the freedom of living in a free society. A price the public are prepared to pay.
That's a dangerous concept.
But a realistic one.
You're forgetting one thing. What's to stop Harris from making copies of the tape?
Nothing at all. Except without Harris, there's no authenticity, no documentation. Everyone would think it was an IRA fake.
And my investigation?
I have a solution that is both effective and acceptable. You have the culprits that did the shooting. Nail them.